And action. I just got a weird notification on my tablet right in the middle of starting my recording. And this might be long, I don't know. I'm doing this off camera, so it will be a different effect. And maybe it'll be a hypnotic effect too, because the shadow of the tree is moving, so that's kind of cool. Anyway, this is a story I wrote last year for Odyssey Con for the spontaneous writing competition. The dialogue that had to be in it is towards the end of it. This is about 4 pages, but it's not like super, super long. It's called Your Memory Is Not Your Own. That's my title I came up with. The story I came up completely off of whatever was in my head from whatever 6 to 7 hours of sleep I got. I went to a room party the night before, and this was a competition that was done on Saturday morning. And I am writing from the perspective of the male figure in the story. It began like any day normally began. Alarms sounding, me rolling out of bed, groaning about having stayed up past 1, scrambling around to find the clothes I was going to wear. My girl lay next to me, oblivious to what she was about to go through. We had talked long and hard about this, and she wanted to go through with it. You see, in our society, we all knew our place and purpose. But Beth broke the rules. I tried to shelter her, protect her, prevent them from finding out. The individuals I referred to are worse than a crime lord. They come to you in the middle of the night, drag you out of your home for questioning if you're suspected of being a traitor. In the last 2 years, I've been dissatisfied with the way our society ran itself. More or less, it turned corrupt. Every month, all persons over the age of 17 had to submit to all sorts of personality and social conditioning tests. If some anomaly was found, that person would be dealt with instantly. That meant disposal, as it was wont to be called. Before I go too much further, let me introduce myself. I am known as Neville C. Cartwrightson. My role in society is handling sensitive, private data for the society. We live in what is left of Chicago after a most devastating war. Too horrible to mention here as it derails from the main subject. I fixed her breakfast as usual, just the way Beth liked it. Beth was what is known as a free spirit, someone who challenges those in authority. And as of late, her... sorry. Just got startled by a spider. Sorry about focus on that thing. Darn it, spider. Where was I? As of late, her injections were failing to condition her to accept her place in society. At first, the infractions were few and far between. Several times she started showing up late to her shift at the cheese factory. Don't ask me why I picked that one. Then she started to become more consistent in her bad habits. I had my suspicions, but I've known Beth nearly my whole life. That's why I wanted to marry her. Beth started to forget things and became an incessant liar. I knew our society was wrong for how it treats its inhabitants, but I was powerless to do something, or was I? I figured... Sorry. I'm not used to reading on camera. Well, where was I? I figured, for now, just go along with them till I can get more support. Sorry, in my private cause. I was all too familiar with the procedure Beth would go through, because at times I was required to assist in these cleansing sessions, as they love to call it. I couldn't sleep at night sometimes, especially when they brought in young people. Our society never harmed kids unless it was absolutely necessary. We finished our breakfast, Beth showered and dressed. I kissed her perfunctorily. I still don't know what the meaning of that word is. I don't know why I put that one. On her cheek, before wrapping my arms around her. The one thing I loved about her was she never challenged me. She had respect for me no matter what. Time was approaching. I gulped nervously, trying to think how my dad might have handled a situation like this. I was close to my dad, a thing our current society frowned upon. They wanted everyone to be machines, automatons. I glanced down at my watch, tightly wound over my left wrist, hurriedly grabbed my camera, and took a quick snap of her so I would never forget what she looked like. What I didn't know is that they would totally remake her into a completely new person. Just one more part of the nefarious procedures that added fuel to the growing fire, why I wanted to rebel against the system I once cherished. We made our way to the auto car, programmed our destination in, settled back for the short ride. 20 minutes were at the Center for Rehabilitation. Sure, it went by some other name. The nurse at the desk assisted us upon entry through the double glass doors. Beth looked unnaturally calm. That was not like her either. She was more of a fight or flight kind of girl. I held her hand until it was time for her to go to the prep room. We didn't need to speak any words. A single tear dripped downward. I caught it, kissing it and her soft red lips before we parted. The doctor soon met with me, just before he went in to assist. Will she be the same as before? You mean personality-wise? Well, yeah, that, and will she still be as smart as before? Will she... Oh, damn it, will she recognize me? The doctor was a man in his prime, having never known any other life, unlike the both of us. The only reason I was allowed to remain in the city was because of my much-needed skills. Little did this man know what I was planning. But I will save that for another time. The main thing about the procedure is it changes a person's memories and implants new ones, artificial ones, into that person. They basically play God and reprogram what they feel is a flawed human. What the researchers didn't know was that at least 25% of individuals even become less human. They perhaps did not care. I don't know, but I aim to find out. We think so, but I'm not going to lie to you. You know what Einstein said. If we knew what we're doing, we wouldn't call it research. The 2 hours I had to wait till the procedure was done was agonizing to the point of me tearing my skull, wishing I were in Beth's place. If I hadn't insisted on Beth coming here, she would have been violently apprehended. Please tell me there's no spiders on me. Sorry. Where's my pattern? Okay. I was trying to avoid as much confrontation as possible, lest the same thing be done to me. I was a vain man to a certain extent. I'd gathered some evidence of the so-called research, as they termed it. I felt it was being more cruel to mankind. The things they did in the labs that the good old doctor had no idea I knew about. Sure helped to have friends in high places in this place. Finally, the procedure was finished. By this time I must have drank a pot of sweetened coffee. Surprising they allowed this in society, as numerous researchers have revealed several side effects of the consumption of coffee. But I digress. The doctor approached me and told me she'd be out soon. I hope you enjoy the new improved Beth. I believe you'll be most satisfied. Be sure to schedule with the nurse for her monthly review. Thank you for choosing us as your provider. He sounded like such an automaton himself. He and I used to be college buddies. We did all sorts of crazy things together back in the day before society took a turn for the worse. He had no idea there was a growing resistance. Many of those on the fringes of society had taken up arms to fight the oppressive government. 10 minutes later, Beth came out, dressed in red and yellow hues with a flowing skirt. Her entire appearance was changed. Once she had brown hair, now hers was blonde with a tint of red. She now had green eyes instead of blue. She glanced from me to the nurse and then at the door. I moved closer to her, taking her by the left arm. Beth, honey, it's Neville. Do you remember? That was the key. Remembering or not remembering. I did not like what they were doing to people. It was amoral. Beth smiled softly at me. She embraced me and hugged and murmured her joy. That was how I knew she remembered me, but it was all I knew about what this procedure had done to her specifically, as each person was so unique in how their body responds to the procedure, or treatment, as they also term it. Well, like the saying goes, only time will tell, and that it would. Perhaps one day there'll be a way to get the true Beth back, but till then she was just a mere shadow of what she was meant to be. And there you have it, people. And I was hoping this would be under 10 minutes, and it was. Have a great day. Thanks for listening, and more videos to come. I'll be at almost 200.